Hey. All right. So, welcome back to Live Coding Elevenses. It has been another minute between travel for work and I think one week I had a meeting I had to go to for another thing and I couldn't schedule it over this time. It's been like 3 weeks, but we're trudging along. Last time on this Live Coding Elevenses stream, we specifically went over, we started building the data stuff for the mini crossword app that I'm making. Not via Build Agent, by the way. I know there's a lot of Build Agent stuff happening, but what we're trying to get to, we're trying to build it not with Build Agent. And then in a couple of weeks, we're going to try it with Build Agent. So there's that. But yeah, last week we did the data model and the demo data, and we built that stuff out. And now we need to build the logic and then the UI. So that's what we're working on. Sweet. I'm just going to jump right back into it. Okay. Nope, not that one. This one? No. Yeah, there we go. We'll do this one. Okay. So I have, what did I start doing? I apparently started doing a flow. I have 8 tables. Oh, 7 tables. Hey, Jerry. Oh, what time is it over there? It is blank, so there's that. Okay, cool. It doesn't have anything going on for it. I need to probably start with a script include to handle the logic side of things. So I'm trying to think of what next I need to do. It's been a minute. So this will be a script that will create the puzzles daily. No, okay, so this is when a record is created in the daily puzzle table, then it will build the grid using words on the word table according to the category we picked. So that's the logic that we're going for this time. And we need to build the logic for it behind the scenes. So what I'm going to start then is I'm going to create a new script include, and we're going to use that as the base main logic source. All doing this in my PDI, naturally. Mini-crossword app. Mini-crossword log. Well, let's just call it mini-crossword. Yeah. I don't think it needs it to be client callable. Yeah, we'll leave it as that. Okay, I don't want to spend a long time building this logic myself, so I'm going to go back to my app details and commit this file into the repository. It's 7 p.m. for Jerry. Thanks for tuning in. What time does your fam usually go down? My kids, they're like 7:30 to 8 is now their bedtime. That's usually what we do nowadays. We're dealing with a sleep regression right now. So welcome to my life. If you're a parent watching this, you know what I'm talking about. You know all that, what packed into that statement of we're dealing with a sleep regression. That's fun. And my repository, here's the script include update. So I'm going to utilize VS Code and work in it there because that's where I prefer. So I don't have that yet here. So I'm going to clone the Mini-crossword app into my local computer. Wow, that's a good sleeper. Wow, that's almost like 12 hours. That's really good. Holy moly. I envy you so much, Jerry. Hi, Live Live Do Erez. What's up? Hey, Live Do Erez, I think. All right, I have my VS Code. Let me zoom in a little bit. I trust myself. Okay, so I guess I should give a little bit of context of what I'm doing now. For certain things, I have moved to utilizing AI assistant for some of my coding. There is build agent, and it's a similar process actually, but I like VS Code, and I've been using it here for a while now for both ServiceNow and not ServiceNow stuff. And I feed it the repository, and then I usually use Claude to begin code, or even code for me, and then I review it. I know how to do these things myself, and that's my caveat always for any of these vibe coding kind of things is AI tools are the most powerful in the hands of people that have learned it without AI. Yeah. So like, do you know how to build a script include? Do you know how to build a ServiceNow portal widget out of scratch? Then it's only going to be easier for you from there, and you'll probably be able to make something even better. So that's my caveat before I start jumping into it. But I am running. I have loaded the Mini-crossword repository or sourced app into my local machine via GitHub desktop. I'm in VS Code. I'm looking at it now, and then like you can see, here's all my files and stuff like that. I could probably even find the script include I just made. I'll do that another time. It's somewhere in here. But I'm also on a PC, so I actually Claude Code doesn't work on Windows environments natively. It's a Mac environment. So I do have not chat. I'm on a terminal. Hold on. Move to right. Okay. It doesn't work in PowerShell because that's Windows. So I do have Ubuntu Windows as a what does WSL mean again? I can't remember. Windows System Live or something like that, to emulate an environment that it does work in. So, and then from here, so I can run my Claude stuff normally. All right, I'm in Claude. Okay, let me look at the chat. I recently built an application in ServiceNow using the App Engine to manage my personal budget, and it turned out nice. Okay, yeah. Oh, actually, I feel like a lot of us do this. I've done it too. I like 6 years ago, I made a budgeting app inside ServiceNow. Actually, I used ServiceNow with an integration with YNAB, and an integrated YNAB into my ServiceNow instance so that I can pull all that stuff in together for a budget app. Even though YNAB is a budget app, but I wanted to do some analytics stuff, so that was fun. Now they have analytics stuff, so it doesn't matter. I don't need it. But yeah. Hi, Christy. If we create n number of custom tables, does it require additional cost? Ask your rep. I can't answer that question really easily. It depends on your company's listen. Chrissy was already saying it depends on your company's licensing. Yeah, I can't answer it for sure. It all depends. It depends on what you're entitled to, really, and what's a custom table, what's not a custom table. If you extend a different table, is that its own custom table? It all. You have to check with your rep. It depends on each contract. Cool. Okay. So one thing I do want to do first is describe the README file. So I need a README file for the root of this repository to describe what we are doing with this ServiceNow app. And what we're doing with the ServiceNow app is we are using a table structure to create mini crosswords, as in mini crossword from the New York Times Games app. And a mini crossword is a 5x5 crossword. And what we need to do is be able to create and make this app read off of the tables so that it knows how to construct the grid, what the grid is, what words are supposed to be in that grid, and then have a user interface, which right now we're going to make it in a service portal widget to be able to fill in the crossword and get a score and time and all that kind of stuff. And so in this README file, I want it to describe the current table structure, the intent of the app, and the goal and all that stuff that should go into the README file. And I want you to interpret the things that I'm missing to fill out this README file. Okay, pasted text from multiple lines, and I'm just gonna, there it is, that's what I just said. Shout out to Becca. Christy says hi. Becca's pretty cool. I love her. That's my wife. So I gave it a goal of writing me a README file because I think what I want to do is have what this app's supposed to do as context for Claude as I move forward with building some of the logic. And so it's reading through. It says it has an understanding. Let's see how it handles that README. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. I have a reputation apparently that I go into other people's stream to troll people, and so people think that she should be trolling me, but Becca's too kind, too polite to do that to me. Jerry, meet Becca. Becca, meet Jerry. Too bad I didn't get to go to London. I would have loved to hang out with Jerry and say hi. Okay, well, I need to give it permission to write to the README file, which I'm okay doing. Cool. Becca, Jerry's the one that always lets me say hi to his son, and get to chat on calls and stuff like that with him whenever we're traveling and stuff like that. Jerry's great. Also, Jerry's been active. If you're watching this and you don't follow Jerry on LinkedIn, go find Jerry Wong on LinkedIn. Like, type in Jerry ServiceNow MVP. You'll find him. He's been posting a lot, and he's been posting some good stuff. So he's been active, and it's been fun to see how active he's been in our community. So thank you, Jerry. Okay, let me read through this. ServiceNow application that recreates the experience of the New York Times mini-crossword game within the ServiceNow platform that players can solve. Yep. This application brings the addictive mini-crossword experience. Daily puzzles and unlimited random puzzles for continuous play. It understood that logic from how he structured the table. That's perfect. That's great. So it understood that that was our intent, just by seeing that I had a choice field on one of the tables to say if it's going to be a daily or a random puzzle. So it figured out that logic. That's pretty cool. It did that, and features. Yeah. Oh man, here's the table structure. Oh, what else? All this. Oh, it listed the data model relationships. That's cool. This is better than my Miro board already. Oh man. Oh, it did some interpretation. It doesn't know necessarily that yet. That's fine. I like that it's doing some of this. How puzzles work. I mean, that's going to be great for logic. Yeah. Table security. All right. It looks good. It tried to create me a roadmap. That's hilarious. Okay. And it has technical details. That's a great README. That's actually pretty solid. I'm going to go ahead and commit this right away. You know what? I can do it via here too. Commit. Push. Commit. What am I saying? Yeah, commit and push the remote. That's all I need to do right now. I'm not doing this via pull request. It's in my own branch. So I did have my Git stuff connected to my GitHub, and so it should be able to do this stuff. Hey, 2A Hitch. Thanks for hanging out. That was a solid README file. Pretty good. Oh, I forgot who I am. That's weird. I might need to back out and set those fields. Git config global user.email is, shoot, which email did I use for this? I think it's earlier Vicky. Git config global user.name. Okay. And then FG to go back into Claude. I've configured the Git properties. Go ahead and try to commit it again. Did I try Atlas? That's an interesting question. I have not tried Atlas itself. I have tried Comet a bunch. I've had the access to Comet's browser, or the Perplexity Comet browser, for a little bit. And I was exploring it. I didn't figure out enough utility for me to use it. So I haven't really been really exploring the different use cases for it. I'm also much more hesitant to grant screen share access to OpenAI through Atlas. So that was my hesitance for now. Did I pick the wrong one? Oh, it says successful. Let me just check. No, that was not successful. I should just... Hold on, give me a second. I'll plug in. Why isn't my stuff working? Okay, I'm just gonna do this via GitHub desktop. Well, I gotta troubleshoot that later, so that's my bad. I don't know why it broke on me. README file. All right, that should go. There it is. Okay, there's a README file if people want to look into it. This is a public repository, so it's there. Hi, Jerry. Wait. Who's saying hi? Oh, hi, Justin. Sorry, I just read that. Have a good bedtime. I hope you have a good night's sleep. Hey, Kevin. Long time no see, man. All right, where was I? Okay, so I'm gonna abandon that thread. Because I'll just commit myself. I no need to make it do that. I should run init to let it analyze things. Hey, Jocelyn. Oh, always so happy to see certain people jump in. Okay, so once it creates an agent file, I am going to, oh, actually, I need to build the script include logic. Hey, Greg. New around here, Greg? I don't know. I don't recognize your name. Greg Shaper. Hey. Justin. Thanks. That's sweet. Thank you. Thank you, Justin. Oh, that's fun. It's always nice to get like compliments from children because you know they mean it. It's so nice. But when they don't, when they insult you, they also mean it that way too. So I get both ends of the spectrum for my kids. Hooray. Anyways, okay, let me I gotta find that script include real quick because I want to grab the sysid. There it is. Okay, grab the sysid. Did I make it? Yep. Okay, I made it. So it's basic. If you don't know what an agents file is, this one, it's called Claude in this one. So you'll see when I pushed /init, in some other ones it's like /start or / it's different for each one. So Gemini's coder, ChatGPT's Codex coder might have a different term for it. For Claude, it's /init. And what they all do is they create this base file this one's called Claude. I tend to rename them as agent because they are useful for any agent, even if it's not Claude, and reference that. But what this file does is it's basically instructions for any coding assistant to understand what it should be doing. That's it. That's all it is. It's it gives it, instead of it having to go through every folder and file every single time you're working with it to try to find things, this is basically hey, this is how things are structured. So if you're looking for table definitions, go to dictionary. If you're looking for the script include, they look like this. Yeah, so it helps it find things. Especially when they're tired or hungry. Yeah, that's when all the truth comes out. Hangry. Okay, so that I have that. I will commit this also to keep it separate. Just because that's always helpful to have separate as a separate commit. And now there's my script include. Oops. Blah. I am going to clear and reset my context because I don't need the Claude stuff in it. I'm going to say for that script include, we need to start building the logic for how the mini-crossword puzzle grid is formulated. Okay. So I need this script include to have the logic that it can be called from either a business rule or a flow action script so that it will create the grid records on the grid table according to the given word category and start populating the grid according to normal crossword logic, which can also be found in the README file. Take all that information. Oh, I didn't like what I last said. I'm going to change it. And I'm going to say, given, see, I'm having trouble articulating what I want from this part. So I'll create the grid records on the grid table according to the given word category and start populating the grid according to normal crossword logic, which can also be found in the README file. The script include should create the grid records with words that satisfy crossword logic, which is stuff like words have to match the letters as they cross over each other, etc. When it's creating this grid, I understand that it won't be able to completely fill a 5x5 grid because not all words will fit perfectly. So the logic should be able to account for being able to have blank spaces on the grid itself according to the coordinates of each word. I want the first row to always have a word though, but it doesn't have to be on the first column necessarily. Before you work, I would love to hear your game plan about how to build this logic. So again, I'm showing you all kind of my process for like building certain things on ServiceNow nowadays. Like when it comes to long logic or long script files, like a script, like a widget and stuff like that, I tend to go about it with AI first, and then I review it and change it before. I know there's people out there that will say, no, it's incredibly important that you build these things from scratch and stuff like that, so you know all the logic. I politely disagree. I think I know how to build this from scratch. I don't want to spend the hours and hours it is to build it from scratch. I don't. I have a skill set where I know a lot of JavaScript. I know a lot of ServiceNow methods. I rather just go through it after the fact and go and review and fix things and do it, because that's kind of what it would. I've been in past jobs where I've had junior developers or associate developers code stuff, and they bring it to me and I review it because I have the expertise. I'm not sitting there with them coding it from scratch. No, that's why AI assistants are really helpful. They can get the 90% done, and then I can review the last 10% and get it to working state and stuff like that. So that's my philosophy on it. But again, I started with always review your code. Like, it's not perfect. It makes mistakes. It's okay. You can fix it. Cool. Okay, let's see what it planned. Whoa, that is much more of a plan than I expected it. Generate a valid grid. Yeah. propose a backtracking constraint satisfaction approach with 3 phases. Word pool selection, okay. Grid initialization with first row guarantee, okay. Interactive word placement by backtracking, because it needs to do that recursive behavior, makes sense. Constraint validation, can place, yeah. This is a stylistic difference. That's a stylistic choice. I don't do for loops like that anymore. Backtracking, no failure, no valid. Yep. I like that it knows it's documenting the private helper methods. This is all stuff I've already defined for it. It's baking in a loop killer. And it's showing me what the response structure is. Questions before I build. If the word dictionary is too small, then the minimum should only be 5 words, and that's okay. The category requirement, we shouldn't have to have a category. If the category is blank, it should just use all words that's on the word list. If a puzzle generation fails, it should keep trying with different parameters, like picking different words or backtracking and picking a new word so that more options could potentially pop up. And let's not have a grid coverage target as opposed to just making sure there's enough words, a minimum of 5 words. When you build this script include, I want you to have proper JSOC documentation across the script include, assuming that a person might not necessarily go out to the GitHub's README to understand the logic of each method. You don't have to document the private methods, but any public method should have good in-script, inline documentation, along with examples and example usage and example responses. Don't forget to update the Claude README, the Claude file and the README file. Let's see how it goes. Just vibing, true vibing. I have done a lot of vibing this year and I've created some cool stuff, man. I know Build Agent is the talk of the ServiceNow town right now, but I've been doing this since I've been doing this kind of workflow, this process that I'm showing you right now, since like February or March or something like that. We started doing it for C3 for CreatorCon at Knowledge. Good night, Jerry. Good night, Justin. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit, Jerry. All right, it's thinking. How's it going? Let me actually go through the Miro board and make sure I'm not missing anything egregious. It's an old... I love AI for documentation. It's so good. AI for documentation is such a great thing. Also, I never explicitly pointed out too, like, I'm really vibing. So, okay, let me back up. When we talk about vibing, in fact, IBM put out a good article that Chris Helming told me about or posted on a channel about. The term is just referencing to we are having a personal conversation with an AI assistant, and we are doing it naturally via natural language. We're talking it out as if we were explaining what to do as if we're talking to developers that we're trying to get things done. That's what vibing is right now. And one of the things I wanted to point out is I'm really taking it to the max for the vibing part of it, because if you've noticed, every time I input into this chat window, I'm actually talking instead of typing it out, because I think using text to speech or speech to text is really helpful in how fast I can get stuff done. Shabby agrees. AI is fantastic for docs. Oh, I forgot to go bigger screen. It's starting to do stuff, so let me show it. Wow, it's already done a lot. Okay, I'm losing context already. Oh, it's updating the plot also. Now it's updating the README. Okay, so what it did was it updated the script include. Where is it? What file name was it again? I can't remember. Oh, here it is. Sys script include. All right, here's the sys script include, and then it updated the Claude file so the agent knows what to do with it, and then updated the README file to make sure the repository is accurate. And then here's its summary of what it did. Let me just take a look real quick. 2 public methods generate puzzle with 3 parameters. Generates complete crossword puzzles automatically. Uses backtracking constraint satisfaction algorithm. Blah blah blah. And then a validate puzzle. Validates existing puzzle word intersections. Checks later matches at crossing points. Oh, this is okay. So this is the logic for when someone's entering it to validate if it's working. Right? No. Why would? No, that's just for the building of it. Why would it need to be a public method? Did it do the JSOC documentation? It did. Nice. There's my JSOC documentation in it. Oh, also, this is obviously not a JavaScript file. This is an XML file because it's using the actual metadata of how the record is in ServiceNow. So that's why it's hard. You won't be able to easily work in JavaScript in this file type. But if you're using mostly AI for it, that works fine. So let me just finish reviewing this. I'm going to import it into the instance, and then I'm going to review it in instance instead. How to call it from background script, from business rule, from flow action. Actually, pretty good. Real quick, can you tell me what the validate puzzle public function is for? I'm not sure why it has to be a public one. What is it used for? Wow, it's so detailed. Okay. Debugging the generation algorithm. When testing the puzzle generation logic, you want to verify that the algorithm is actually creating valid puzzles with correct intersections. You can call it right after generation. Okay. This is the why. Because I was going to say, like, well, why doesn't it just call it? It doesn't have to be public. It just should be baked in. But if we create a puzzle manually via the records, then we can run it. Okay, that's all I needed to know. Okay, so I just synced it to my remote repository. I am going to jump back into ServiceNow Studio and refresh, because what I want to do now before I do anything is go into source control and pull from repository. And it'll pull all those changes I just made. One day. Okay, it did it. Let me load. Oh, there it is. Okay. So logic is live. You see some warnings. Already defined where. Also, I forgot to tell it that it can use ECMAScript 2021. So that's my bad. I should have done that. I don't like that it's warning me about call as art. See, this is why it's good to utilize newer ECMAScript, because it still thinks it's predefined, even though it's already in a for loop, which means it's all a local variable. So kind of get annoyed by that kind of stuff. That's okay. It's not going to break anything. It's just I don't like I don't like seeing the warnings. Okay. Wow, look at this documentation. Oh, look, initialized stuff. That's nice. You know what? It gave me a thing I can run in a scripting background script, so I might as well try. How to call it. New mini-crossword. That is not the right scope name, so that is incorrect. It's this. Oh, I guess if you're calling it from within the scope, then it should be smart enough. Let me switch scopes real quick. Whoa, where's my formatting? Let's just run it, see what. No, 4 words. Not quite. Was I what I expecting? Let's go take a look. Is that today or no? That's just demo. That's just demo. so it's not working exactly as I expect. It's not working. Also, I didn't see it make any of the... It didn't make any records, so that's a problem. All right, let's troubleshoot. Shabby asks, how am I handling the dictionary of words that can be used in the puzzles? It's in the table structure. I have a word table here that I made, and I imported a bunch of ServiceNow random words and context and stuff like that. You can see on the last stream that I did that. Oh shoot, I forgot I'm streaming. I need to talk out what I'm doing. Sorry. I'm so stupid sometimes. Okay, sorry. So I'm walking through the logic of this script include, and I'm validating right now that it's populating a word list properly from this table. Mini C0 word. I don't know why this is taking so long. Yeah, that's the right table. Let me try it again. I don't know why it's not loading. Okay, category sysid. If there is a category sysid, which I believe... Okay, I did pass it null, so it knows not to do that. It doesn't, so it doesn't add the query. gr get value word. Yeah. All right, it's grabbing that properly. So let's go back up. It didn't return an error there, so keep moving. Wait, retry puzzle generation. Oh, there, it's in a while. Okay, I was like, I never even tried it yet. Okay, but it's a while. Attempt puzzle generation, a success. Raphael says, let's add breakpoints, let's try it. But I mean, so it's true. I can go line by line. It actually ran. It just didn't do anything. Actually, let me keep going through it line by line, because there's one thing I'm wondering if it forgot to do. So this is a good time for me to try to check real quick. But let me validate some of these methods real quick. So here's the logic for placing the words. I'm not going to go through that because I want to get to what I was thinking might be the problem. Place more horizontal words, place vertical words, calculate statistics, coverage, return, and then the return. Okay, so the one thing I'm looking for is not there yet, so I'm going to keep moving forward. Failed after all retries. Yeah, okay, I know what's missing from this and why. That's actually pretty funny. So I'm going to validate it right now, but it doesn't actually look like it's doing the logic for building the grid, but it's not actually pushing it to the grid table. So that's pretty funny. So it didn't do that part. It needs to create the glide records. So let me just validate that's happening. So grid, I need a table name real quick. I'm just going to search it. So here it's in the validation one, but it's not actually creating anything. Yeah, okay. That's great. That's hilarious, actually. Okay, so we can go back here and say, it looks like the validation logic is working normally, at least I think so. But I noticed that none of the script include actually populates records on the tables that it should be populating. As in, I tested the background script that you gave me, and it just returned a log statement back, where I was expecting that it would create the daily puzzle, random puzzle record, along with putting everything into the grid table so that we can see the results of the generate puzzle as records inside of ServiceNow. Okay, so I'm going to let that work it out. I'm going to see what happens. And then hopefully on this next go, it'll populate the records, because then I can go test its logic and see if they actually lined up. Can you help me debug this? Could you check if you have words in the word table? Run this background script first. I mean, I do have words on the table, but oops, did I press the wrong button? I do have words on that table, but I will humor it. I'm used to giving huge responses. I know, GR, just not GR. Okay, but a lot of this is in safe because it's in function calls. So it's not like it's running in global scripts and not wrapped in functions. So that is covered. A good call out. I should probably put in the agent files, like, don't use GR as a variable. It's true. Try the generation with debug logging. Let me create a test script with more debugging. It's from my video. I know. It's that was like my first ServiceNow viral video. It stuck with people. Wait, what does it say? It says, "Oh, I see the issue now. The problem is that most of your words are not 5 letters long. Looking at your word list." Oh, I need a better word list. Oh, it changed it for me. It did what I was about to do. I was about to tell it to lower the limit. Wait, where does it say? It's saying records are being created, but I don't see that. Oh, it is there. But that's just for daily dot insert. Oh, here's the create puzzle grid. Did I just miss it when I searched for it earlier? That's weird. No, there that is. Oh, I just missed it. Okay, it is trying to create the puzzle grid. Never mind. Okay, well, it lowered the limits down and it's recommending that I put more words in the list, which is true. Let me sync this real quick. Well, let me make sure it updated. Lowered limit, yep. Full. A wave of tiredness just washed over me. No, I made the insertions. All right, let's go look at that table. Here's the one it just made with 4 words. Row and column. So here, let me actually write this out. All right, so in row 1, column 1, we have urban. In row 1, column 2. Wait, that's his vertical. So urban. Oh my gosh, I can't type. Row 1, column 2, and that's column 3. What on earth? What order did it do this in? Column 2 is admin. Horizontal is OAuth at the top. And then, I mean, it's logical. It worked. That's a super simple crossword puzzle, but it worked. Interesting. Cool. That's good. Okay, so my to-do list for next stream. This is for when I do the description and AI summary later. I need to much more populate the word list so that it has better options, because it's not going to be able to find things easily. And then work on the UI. Oh, I also should check that the validate thing works separately if I make a puzzle myself. Oh, and I need to put this into a script, into like the flow action so that it can run. But I call that a success because that logic is working. But look, in 1 hour, that whole script include was done. All of this, all of the logic for building this complex mechanism of trying to build a crossword puzzle is in here. This is why vibe coding is such a cool way to work. If I had all the time in the world, I would make sure I've gone through this line by line. And that's the proper way of doing it. And I'm going to continue to stand by that a good senior developer should be reviewing all of the code, not just what works. But yeah, sweet. That's dope. Here's the link. I'll put the link of the repository inside the chats. There it is. I'll put it in the description too after the fact. Yeah, feel free to take a look at it, fork it, have fun with it, build something if you do. Submit a pull request. Hacktoberfest, you all should know how to do that. Speaking of Hacktoberfest, that's happening right now. Really think we're about to cross the participation from last year. So that's really cool to see. But yeah, here's a link to it, or just go to devlink.sn/Hacktoberfest. Yeah, cool. Good stream, everybody. Fun stuff. Eventually, when we finish this on not build agent side, we'll do it via build agent. I'm trying to do this via like service portal and stuff like that, whereas build agent likes to do things in React pages. So it's very different. It'll probably be easier for it to do in build agent because it doesn't have to be constrained by a service portal widget. But I'm focusing on trying to do it within a service portal widget for this stream, just to see and compare it to build agent later. But yeah, sweet. Cool. I hope you all have a great day. Okay, thanks. Bye.